Good evening and welcome to the Job Search Solution, the radio program where we talk about looking for a job, changing jobs, changing careers, hiring. And as always, we begin with a prayer. Dear God, grant us thy peace and thy mercy, thy will be done. All of the things that we discuss here on the radio program can be found on our 60-hour program of the Job Search Solution. So if you're looking for a job and you want everything you could possibly imagine about finding a job, www.thejobsearchsolution. This evening, I'd like to discuss the top 5 mistakes that employers make in interviewing and trying to hire. There are 10 of them. We're going to discuss 5 this evening, and next week we're going to discuss the other 5. If you as a job seeker know what these mistakes are, you're going to be a whole lot better off. If you are a hiring authority, you'll certainly want to know what these mistakes are. But I've been doing this since 1973, and I've codified these down to top 10 mistakes. The first mistake that employers make is they're not really sure what they're looking for. They have some vague idea about what they would like to find. They have certainly specific skills that they're looking for in trying to find a job candidate, a successful candidate and for them, but they really don't know. They're not sure. They'll write them all out and they'll tell you they want things like good written and verbal communication skills. I mean, what's that mean? I mean, come on, if you're past 12th grade in high school, you got that. But so they don't know what they need. The reason it's important if you're a job seeker to know that companies aren't sure of what they're looking for in someone is so that you are capable and aware that you have to go in and tell them, these are my features, advantages, and benefits. This is why I am a good, whatever you're selling yourself to be. And that you have to realize that you are doing just that. You are selling, and you're telling them what they get in you. The second mistake that most employers make is that they don't really know what's available out there on the market. They come up with some idea about what they want to find, and sometimes it's cosmic, sometimes it's totally unrealistic to what the market would bear. They come up with these ideas because they primarily don't want to make a mistake, and so they come up with what may or may not be available in the marketplace, and they don't know. Unless they're hiring quite often, like once a month or once every 2 months, they have no idea what's available on the marketplace, and they don't really know. You as a job seeker need to be aware that they don't really know. And that's all the more reason of why you need to explain to them what you can do. But you as a hiring authority, just admit, I don't know what's out there in the marketplace. Let me take a look and see. The third mistake is that they have too many people involved in the interviewing process, way too many people involved in the interviewing process. The reason companies, and we could write a whole section on this, the reason companies have so many people involved in the interviewing process is they don't want to make a mistake. And they figure that if they have a whole bunch of people involved in the interviewing process, they'll make fewer mistakes. It's not true. They should have no more than 3 people involved in the interviewing process. Just as many good hires are made when one person does the hiring as when more than one person does the hiring. But it's very hard to convince people of that. But just realize you're going to go through, if you're a job candidate, 6 or 7 interviews because of different people, because people don't want to make a mistake. But there are way too many people normally involved in the interviewing process. The fourth mistake they make is they string out the process way too long. And the reason they string out the process way too long is because they are afraid of making a mistake. They'll drag it on and on and on because it's easy to postpone. And they, again, don't want to make a mistake. So if they tell you we'd like to hire within the next 2 weeks, the question you have to ask is which 2 weeks? Because they always takes longer than what these people will normally have in mind. So expect, if you're a job candidate, the process to take a lot longer. And the more people that are involved, the longer it is going to take. And then the fifth mistake is people have very poor interviewing techniques. You know you're running into somebody with poor interviewing techniques when they start out by asking the first question of, tell me about yourself. Oh my goodness. The best interviewers have a written out format of asking exactly the same questions of every candidate that they interview. We've got those initial questions that every employer ought to ask available. You want to write me, Tony Beshara, or Tony@Babich.com. We'll send you one, but expect poor interviewing techniques. Expect employers to not know exactly what they're looking for and not know exactly what to ask. That's why it's so important for candidates to be able to tell an employer why they are a good candidate, because quite frankly, an employer may not know to ask. All right, we're going to take a short break. Stay tuned. This is Tony Beshara with the Job Search Solution.